Brought to you by StationHouseCoffee.com and InspiredDisorder.com/Prime.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Get Duped, a new movie out on Amazon Prime. I don't really know how new this movie is, but it is new to me. IMDb says it came out last year, 2019, so who am I to say? The original title of this film was Boys in the Wood. Obviously, a smart name change, I would say. It's not very much, aside from it being a group of teens, there's not a whole lot of similarities to the film Boys in the Hood. But it is a fun movie. I would have to say probably my favorite, like, as far as for a fun movie of the year, like a movie that I really enjoyed and had a lot of fun watching. This would be it. Get Duked would be that movie. It would be the comedy version of The Devil All the Time, right? Really well made, well structured, but very lighthearted instead of very depressing. So I put this movie on. It's like a teen comedy, right? Teen comedy, but like I said, well structured, well written. It's got layers to this movie, right? It's got layers. It's about these three problem kids. They get sent. They have like this program out in the UK. It's based in the UK, maybe even Scotland. I know it takes place on the Scottish Highlands, so I'm not sure if these kids are Scottish or if they're British. I don't know. Call me xenophobic, racist, whatever to them, but I'm not trying to disparage them in any way. I'm just ignorant. And so there's three problem kids and one homeschooled kid, and they're sent on this kind of like a camping thing, like or kind of a becoming a man kind of a program where it takes troubled kids and they go hiking through the Scottish Highlands and they do camping, and it's like a survival thing to get them out of the city and get them kind of focused on teamwork and just kind of basic skills to I guess get them. I don't know the intention of a program like that and how it would affect troubled teens necessarily. I guess giving them something else to. It's like life can be hard in a different way. Like it's not just poverty and drugs that you might be growing up in, but also, you could have to light a fire or something. So anyway, they're on this trip, and things start going wrong. Right? There's like this leader guy, the head guy. He lets them out. He gives them a map. He's like, okay, I'm going to meet you over at the campsite. They have to hike to it on their own, and he's going to meet them there. And on their journey, they get confronted by somebody wearing a mask, holding a rifle, trying to kill them. And it's like it quickly becomes similar to a movie, The Hunt, that came out last year, which is very similar in a lot of ways to this movie, but written in like a beginner style movie writing capabilities. The Hunt. The Hunt is like a 13-year-old conspiracy theorist, right wing person that's writing a movie where the liberal elite round up all of the deplorables, quote unquote, and hunt them. Which there's a lot of movies that kind of feature a similar thing. I want to say Running Man was that. I want to say like Jean-Claude Van Damme was in like Hard Target, I think was a movie that was similar to that back in the 80s or 90s. So it's not a premise necessarily that's new, but this one, it's a comedy. And it reminds me, in some ways, it reminds me of Hot Fuzz, where it's like this action movie that takes place in this small, like rural UK town. Where this one, it's like it's an action kind of a movie because they're like running away from this guy, this Duke that's trying to murder them, and they're just like stupid kids. Like literally, one of them is dumb, Dumb. So anyway, so they're running away from this guy, and they kind of do some MacGyver stuff after. Like, there's a little scene where they're like, they want to get high, the three problem kids. So it has that aspect of the movie too, where it's like you're seeing this kid who's homeschooled, who's naive, who hasn't been around a lot of people, just not very comfortable interacting socially with other people, and then he's put in a group of three people who are outcasts in their own right, but because they're outcasts, they're kind of troubled kids, right? They're not homeschooled, but they're out in the world, they're going to public school, but they're loners and they're delinquents. They don't give a shit because nobody gives a shit about them, right? But they're at least used to interacting with each other. One of them wants to be a rapper. Like, they all have their kind of characteristics and their characters. So you have that aspect where you have this kid that's kind of like learning to come out of his shell around these people, which I related to a bit. I was homeschooled for a year and a half, through like half of 8th grade and all of 9th grade. I was homeschooled. I really missed the reason I went back to public school. The reason I left public school was the bullying, and the constant thought of suicide. And then I went back because I missed my friends. And by the time middle school is probably the worst as far as bullying goes. And then high school, people kind of grow up. You can kind of find your clique. And I found, I had friends that were into art and playing basketball. So I had my niche of friends in high school. Despite there's still bullying in high school, but nothing like middle school's like next level. Anyway, so I have a little bit. It touched on that kind of that little heartstring of mine when that remembered kind of being the awkward kid. I'm still kind of awkward in groups. I'm a lot more comfortable with myself now than I was back as a child. But in this group, I can totally tell because it's a bunch of kids trying to understand what it is to be an adult, trying to understand. Like, trying to be grown-ups, being forced to be grown-ups. There's no like one way to exist in this reality. So, everybody's just trying to find their own way. But it's really fun watching these three kids because, they all have their own personalities. They're all like, trying to do the same thing, which is survive. But they go through some stuff. They kind of fall apart at times. There's a really stupid guy that does really stupid things. But there's like gags in this movie that like literally, like, they set up things in the beginning of the movie and throughout this movie that end up paying off towards the end. It's like, it's not just like stupid gags for the fact of gags. Like, one of them, okay, so like they think their headmaster guy that brought him out, I don't know what his title is. They think that he is the Duke that's trying to murder him. Right? Because he's got a burn on his leg, and they threw a thing and it burnt the Duke to try and get away as a distraction. So they think the guy that took him there is the bad guy, and the dumb guy, the dumb friend. Which, let me see if I can pull his name up real quick here. Which real quick, usually on. I didn't even know Eddie Izzard. Eddie Izzard was the Duke. I didn't even know that. He was wearing a mask the whole time, and he's probably a lot older. Duncan. I think Duncan was the kind of the Lenny of the group, if I'm pulling a Of Mice and Men reference correctly. But they're like, what do we do? What do we do? I think this is the guy that's trying to murder us, and they're like, should we kill him? Should we run away? What should we do? And Duncan just runs him over with his van. And like, they're like, oh, if we got to get rid of the body. So they tuck him into the thing, and they're like, we're just going to run this van off a cliff because they're in the Scottish Highlands, cliffs everywhere, tons of hills. It's like, let's just run this thing off the cliff, and it'll look like an accident, It'll look like an accident. But they release the parking brake, and instead of the van rolling forward off the cliff, it runs back and down the street that they were on. And, kind of Duncan's fix for that, or way to sell the idea that it's not completely botched, is like, well, we're on an island. It's bound to fall off a cliff sometime. And then that's something that literally I forgot about until like the end of the movie, and it comes back in one of the best ways. It also features police like completely overreacting, just like wishing they were like South Central cops, right? Going overboard. They think terrorists are on the thing. They have like this board of crimes that they're working on, and it was just a bread thief. And they take the bread thief, and that gets down to second position, and top position's terrorists. Then they have like kidnappers. Then they have like all the way to like they have this top row of priorities on like this marquee like little placards of each crime like that they pre-made. And one of them, the last one, is like zombies, because these cops are so stupid they think zombies are after them. It's just a really funny movie. It's just a really funny ride, really funny movie, well made. It like pays off all of these gags. I really enjoyed the movie so much, and there's really fun special effects that are new and different and fresh. Just so much of it I really enjoyed. So if you're looking for something fun to watch to kind of unplug from our current reality, go over to Amazon Prime. If you don't have it, go to inspireddisorder.com/prime and get 30 days free and watch it, because it's fun. It's good. I enjoyed it. You should watch it and enjoy it too. And have fun. Make sure you support our sponsor, stationhousecoffee.com, and follow Station House Coffee on Instagram. Order yourself some amazing small batch, single origin, premium coffee brewed in Thetford Center, Vermont, and shipped directly to you. Go to stationhousecoffee.com and order yourself some coffee today. Also, get yourself 30 days free of Amazon Prime. Go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/prime. You know all the benefits you get with Prime. You get the unlimited streaming of all their movies and TV shows and music. You get to borrow Kindle books. And, of course, when you order stuff on Amazon, it shows up as fast as it could possibly show up for free. Free shipping, free movies, free TV, free music, all kinds of free stuff for 30 days when you sign up for Amazon Prime, 30-day free trial. Use my link, inspireddisorder.com/prime. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com, and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out!